The First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
Well, it is time for a little Talkin Tropics, but you know what? Today, we're going to talk more about everything else going on. By the way, I am on the computer, which is labeled Max 1. This is a good look at the forecast, though, across our area. But,
Look at all that sun, Robert.
It is a lot of sunshine out there over the next 3 days.
Oh, yeah, we're streaming right along.
Yeah, and that's another view outside here. Temperature is currently at 74 degrees. Not the right graphic. So there we go.
We saw a little behind the scenes. What we were seeing was Mike Prangley working on some graphics.
Yeah, and you know what? Mike just came back to First Coast News, a month ago?
Yeah.
And he has been the graphic hound.
He has been on it.
Out.
He is making some graphics. Love to see it.
All right, so I'm here. There's Lewis Turner.
Guys.
I trust me.
Good morning.
Lewis is like there. You were hunched down a little bit.
Was.
Lewis is like 2 feet taller than me. So when I seen that, I was like, once.
Our digital director in the other room just gave me a stern talking to about sitting up straight.
There you go.
I appreciate it. Shout out on the ones and twos.
Hey, so let's talk about what we are going to talk about today. That's a good start to the show here.
Yeah.
So first off, we do have some floods in Alaska.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking tropical, but it actually is somewhat to do with a typhoon out there.
Yeah, kind of an ex-typhoon coming across,
And then we're actually going to talk a little bit about the tropics, the long range and the Gulf, kind of carrying on what we'll be talking about for the last few days. And then we're going to wrap it up with something totally not tropical, but what was in the sky this morning?
Yeah, we got a couple of emails. What were those cool clouds?
Yeah,
So
that should be... That should be a regular segment. Yeah. What was in the sky this morning?
What was in the sky?
Yeah, there you go.
That's great.
All right, so first off, let's talk, Lou, about what's going on in Alaska.
Yeah.
Now,
Very serious stuff.
Have you been filled in on much of this?
Oh, yeah. I've been reading. I mean, everything that comes out, I've been reading, just, I guess, one of the largest airlifts, in Alaskan history, maybe even in U.S. history, the airlift rescue that's having to go on, getting people out, getting supplies in to Alaska. I mean, there's some remote areas dealing with some crazy stuff.
Have you ever heard of, the Iditarod?
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course.
So this is the same area where this was back, 100 years ago when they did the Iditarod, where they took multiple dog sleds and they went across Alaska to bring to Nome, which is on the west coast, some vital medicine. Now we got helicopters and stuff for these areas, but it does show the remoteness is when I mention that here. Right. Actually, can we just put up some of the video we have out of this area here? Now, you mentioned there's all this, the lifts going in, they're sending the supplies, but there also, from what I've seen reports, there has been 2 reports of deaths, which...
I imagine that's going to climb.
Yeah.
Because, it's tough to even get to some of these places to account for people.
And it's tragic, but... by the way, this video right here out of Nome, it's tragic, but at the same time, you got to remember this has been some serious flooding. The video here, this was the day it arrived. I have some more video attached to this as well. There has been over 2,000 homes which have just been completely inundated and swept away in some of these remote areas a little bit further inland. There's gusty winds along the coast, and is here right here some waves. Actually, I think the video I have is coming up here in just a moment, just showing some of these homes being washed away out there. Yeah,
I saw a couple of those. Yeah, just awful. There you go. Look closely at the video, and that's not a boat. That's not a barge. That's the roof of a home, simply floating down what was probably dry land, but now a river because of all the flooding.
And to what you were just talking about, this lift that you were talking about, all the supplies coming in via helicopters, and people are probably thinking, is that for people trapped on those roofs? Is it like a Katrina type style? Remember, these villages are so remote that there is no roads to a lot of them. For example, Nome there you just seen, there's no, you can't jump on Highway 17 and head over to Nome right now. It's just not going to happen. You have to take an ocean way in, or you have to fly in. So that's why you have all these supplies coming in via the air. And on top of that, it's also why I've seen a lot of people talking about there's not a lot of news coming out here at first, is because it was very remote. The power went out, and then it wasn't that that we weren't reporting on it. It was just a limited amount of information in northern areas of Alaska where these impacts were taking place here.
Let's talk about the forecasting for this.
Yeah, okay. So let's go over to the satellite picture. Can we go back to the graphic here? So basically, you have this, well, this is actually, I think this is the remnants of Halong still lingering.
Yeah.
By the way, this is all the remnants of a typhoon, but it actually originated back here off of Japan.
Yeah, this is the one we were talking about in a previous Talkin Tropics that was going to curve away and kind of miss mainland Japan.
Yeah, and remember, there was some islands off the coast there that did get like 200 kilometers or about 130 mile per hour winds there. So that storm was a beast when it passed Japan, and then it got picked up by the jet stream. It got moved towards the north and east, and then it went what we call extratropical.
Yeah.
It lost some of those tropical characteristics.
So you won't get, the classic forecast cone with something like this. So NHC not issuing advisories specifically for something like this, and so the forecasting is just a little different, and you could see it coming nonetheless. And it's similar, as we look at modeling and what the almost that atmospheric river type setup that we see sometimes off the Pacific coast. What we talk about when we have storms in the Atlantic, for instance, that curve away like an Umberto, a curve out, and we kind of forget about it as it makes those northern turns. But there are ending spots many times for these if they don't just completely dissipate and go towards the poles. I mean, you think about Scotland or you think about Portugal sometimes, the UK, they end up getting the other end of these. And that's what Alaska is happening to essentially. Something goes extratropical, but nonetheless, the impact's obviously devastating.
And you know what also is very noteworthy with this too? Something that stands out to me, of course, near the coast, you got a heavy rainfall, you got those winds, but something that you see here that you will never see in a tropical system is all the snow.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
So
seriously.
You imagine if you're on like the islands out there, and in the Bering Islands there, you got winds, which that tight gradient, you're probably gonna have winds at hurricane strength gust.
Yep, getting the snow cane.
And then you get the snow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And at elevation too, in some of those spots, you get away from the coast just a bit, and you get in mountains. Yeah, that's and the Aleutian chain. Yeah, that's brutal. It's so secluded, and what a nightmare.
Man,
So
what did I just say? The Bering Islands, the Aleutian Islands.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
No.
Geography, the Bering Strait. We got this.
yeah,
We
no,
got this.
you know what you're talking about.
Smashing words together. Do I?
Smash words together.
No, do I know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you were answering the question I was asking.
Saying, do I?
I think you do.
I try.
I think you do. So a good-looking map here. We do like this. Things you like to see. Lorenzo's no longer on the map. And no tropical formation in the Atlantic. At least the Hurricane Center isn't tracking anything specific yet over the next 7 days. So we'll take that. I think, we go beyond 7 days. We might have this map kind of get active yet again. And those are the things we got to kind of think about beyond 7 days, and we get into the 2 weeks.
And, just real quick, if you're, if you're curious where Lorenzo is, that is this kind of swirl right in the middle. It is absolutely just blown away. Think of like if you have a birthday cake and you blow out the candles, that's what this front and the jet stream associated with it did. It just went poof.
Yep. Ooh, cake. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now you got me thinking of breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost lunchtime. Birthday cake for lunch. Let's go. And then there's, we are watching. And Hurricane Center hasn't highlighted anything, but the things that we keep in mind would be a potential southern tracking wave.
Yes.
That could cross the Lesser Antilles. Hello, Earth. Welcome to Earth.
I'm trying to use the trackpad to zoom in and out, and it is not designed for that.
Right? It'll do it quick. Something crosses in the Caribbean, and then you're going to have the potential. But this is going to take at least 7 to 10 days, get beyond that 7-day outlook for something to make it into the Caribbean where the water is hot, the shear is low, and you've got some ideal conditions, which is why we continue to talk about that 2-week tropical outlook.
And I mean, and especially if you're watching this and you've been watching us kind of go on here for 15 minutes, you're probably somebody who is very interested or you look up the weather yourself, and do remember when we get out to 300 hours in some of these models, which they have been indicating a storm about every day. And it keeps pushing back the goalpost here, but it has been indicating a storm, and that's why the CPC is still indicating this here. It wouldn't be terribly uncommon to get a tropical system in the Caribbean this time of year. Yesterday we went on and we talked about, where had some pretty powerful storms that have formed out there. Here in mid to late October and November. This is the latest GFS, Lew. Have you taken a look at the ECMWF and all that this morning?
Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, very similar. CMC even showing something similar. That's the Canadian model. And the new AI model also still showing a cluster out there. So
this is a day later, though. So like we were looking at this yesterday, this would have been Saturday. So yeah, as Robert mentioned, the goalposts kind of keep getting pushed back, and when you're talking October 26th, so still we're 10 days. It's one of those type deals. Oh my gosh, it's October. I just realized it's October 16th. It's my dad's birthday.
Oh.
I called him this morning. He didn't answer. I did call.
Okay. I'll say you called him and didn't say happy birthday.
I did. Hey,
Dad, how's it going?
I got to call. Thank you. I see 10 days out. Oh my God, that means today's 16th. Yes, I did call him. Okay, I'm in the clear.
Good math on the spot there.
Can't forget that. Anyhow, but what we were showing you
Happy
yesterday.
Happy birthday, Lew's dad, by the way.
Big Lew Senior. The 25th, we saw that storm over Cuba. Now it's the 26th, and we have to keep watching. Kind of, is it pushing back? Like you were saying, GFS all hurricane season has been indicating at those later hours. The potential for something, but consistency is and some common ground between modeling is something we look for. This is more of a Hispaniola as opposed to but this is your GFS still.
Yes.
Now this potential resolution is eyebrow raising for me. Beyond this, because Hispaniola notorious, if a system moves over and is somewhat organized, it becomes a Plinko game from here. It will rip apart a closed low. It's just so mountainous. The elevation's so high. That island, the two nations within that island, just really. I mean, while they get pummeled, it kind of tears things apart. And then beyond that, it truly is where the center reorganizes. Because what'll happen a lot of times, that center will open or weaken, and then where does it reform? Does it form a little further west, a little further east when it starts its trail through the Bahamas?
Yeah, and that of course would be something we would have to watch. I mean, we just had that with was it Aaron? There was one that we had just had off the coast that was right over Hispaniola, and we were watching to see how it would form coming over. So, this is
things to watch. And just because we're seeing that does not mean anything will form. I mean, there's still that because. Right now it's all kind of conjecture on the later end of computer models, things that you will see on social media and shared. And but a keen and good reminder that we've still got to stay aware here in these last couple of months.
I think that's a clear indicator that there's not a lot happening right now, because when we show you the 300 hours on the models and we explain, if we had a storm out there that we were immediately worried about, we would not be doing that.
Correct.
We would be explaining stuff.
It's a good thing.
So let's move to the next topic here. What was in the sky this morning?
Okay, yeah. I was watching Robert make this incredible graphic.
Oh, I have this graphic in here. It's not here yet. So first off, it was a Falcon 9 launch.
Yeah.
Just prior to sunrise. That's the moon right there. This is from Brenda.
What a great picture, Brenda. Well done.
One of our weather watchers.
Yeah, she brings the heat.
She's always sending in stuff. I think I got 2 in here from her. You got
nice.
This one here. What do you think this looks like?
Oh, you're going to give me a psychology test, aren't you?
I thought I said space bird.
You see a space bird
I see
there?
like a big bird.
I see some sort of Star Wars era, Star Wars-esque kind of space warcraft from the Empire side.
Oh, from the Empire side.
Yeah, the bad guys had those big ones, the Star Destroyers maybe.
I can imagine there's got to be at least one person that woke up today who doesn't know what they're looking at here.
Like something's on approach.
And then they were like, that's 3i Atlas right there. Somebody's going to cut this and go, see?
See, we said it. Yeah, that's that is a beautiful looking exhaust trail.
And that's what this is. This is from the Falcon 9 as it went
Good job, Bob.
up over the horizon. Bob always sending in great shots. And I like this. You
Dude's
can see
a pro.
the clouds off there. That's why he puts his watermark on it. And you should, Bob. These are great shots.
Absolutely.
And then, another one from Brenda from the pier at Fernandina Beach there.
I like it.
Good shot there. And then we'll wrap up with Jeff. Jeff, I hope you were the passenger in the car here, or you're not standing in the middle of the road.
But this is a great storytelling picture because so many people start their commutes, before dawn. For my years on GMJ, I remember, we would have launches or what. I know you're not to spoil the surprise, but you have these cloud events, and you get the emails quickly, and it happens while you're driving, or if you're going over like the Buckman and you're driving east, and you just look out on the beach and say, oh my gosh, what in the world am I looking at? And of course, that early morning commute, you're probably still a little sleepy, maybe the caffeine hadn't quite hit yet, and you're like, what is that?
First time I seen one where it was just like that. It was the same deal where I just didn't know what I was looking at first. Yeah. And it was especially right after the Falcon 9 started. SpaceX was like, let's launch one every 3 days. Yep. And I was
That's what's happening. So we're getting more and more launches. We're getting more and more. This used to be kind of rare,
Yes.
You'd only see back when remember the shuttle, that cadence was really wide. You didn't get one of those maybe once a year, maybe a couple times.
And then it has to be just prior to sunrise.
And that's the other part.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're not going to get that too often. But now you do, because SpaceX is sending them.
There's my graphic.
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
Not
I'm a
remotely
wizard.
to scale.
No, I have to, because there will be one person that's going to critique it, say that's not how, it's not even not to scale, not remotely
to scale, because if it were, we'd have to be dealing with a monster.
I am bigger than the sun.
The sun and Florida. California even. But the geometry here and trigonometry is spot on. So
thank you.
Go right ahead and let's kind of break down what people are looking at here and why we see the clouds like this before sunrise. It has not, for human beings that are of normal size sitting on the east coast of Florida, the sun has not come yet for us as humans. But the height at which these clouds, this exhaust plume is formed from the rockets, the sun is rising on it.
Yeah, so they're up 50 miles in the mesosphere, so way higher than your normal clouds. So from those images, we'll go back to this real quick. You see, it kind of has a glow to it, and it's not really glowing. It's glowing the same way the moon glows at night. Yeah. When we see the moon is not putting out light. It's putting out the reflection of the sun. And in the same way, when you like a full moon, when it's really bright, it's the same as the noctilucent clouds. The sun rays are hitting it, but we're not seeing the sun rise because this is so high up. Yeah. So that's why that's literally the term. Now, this term for these type of clouds doesn't just refer to rocket launches. It can happen in the poles sometimes with some really high up clouds in the mesosphere. That's originally where the term comes from. A noctilucent as well, by the way, same as like it's like bioluminescence. You ever hear same root word there? Yeah. It's
night, malescent, meaning light.
There you go.
Is
that Greek?
Bioluminescence, luminescence.
Like I'm gonna guess it's Latin.
I'm gonna go Greek.
Greek. Yeah, it sounds.
Why not? It's one or the other.
Mediterranean. So it's pretty cool. I always get interested when we see this, and a lot of people always send us in the photos whenever they do see this. So that's a little of the crude elementary science behind it there.
Nothing crude about this, man. That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
You may have had future calling in cartooning.
Yeah,
because I love the cartoon Speta.
The cartoon Speta. I need to update him. I need to give him a beard.
Yeah,
get a little more accurate here, visually accurate. Anyway,
that's beautiful stuff.
If you want to share a photo with us, join us on Facebook, First Coast News Weather Watchers. We always appreciate. If you're stopping by there. And I'll wrap with this, by the way, here, Lou. Nice.
I'm so happy. I mean, dropping those rain chances Sunday and Monday, I tend to agree. We do have a front coming, but kind of time and time again, as we are entering kind of the dry season around these parts, these fronts that come across the country that drop a lot of rain or even perhaps create some severe weather for the middle states, for us, they kind of get timing, of course, matters, but they kind of get wrung out like a sponge, and we lose a lot of moisture. So with timing maybe being late Sunday night and early Monday morning, if any rain does come down, it's probably going to be while a lot of folks are sleeping. At least that's what it looks like right now.
My thoughts on it too is that we got a front coming in. It's gonna be one of those ones that in the morning it's gonna look like, ooh, that could hit us, but by the time it gets to us, just
yeah. We've seen it a lot. It happens, and modeling may be deceptive. So that's why you gotta lean on the experience. Been around these parts for a while, so you watch it. People email a lot, like we're seeing. We see the fronts come across, and we'll call for rain, and you have to learn from your own errors, right? If you don't learn from a mistake, then what was the point of the whole experience anyway? So you've over the years, you see these fronts coming. Oh well, it's certainly got to rain, and then it seems like people will email from like Baker County, from McClenny, like, why didn't we get any of that rain that was coming? Well, is there something over the county? No, it's just the kind of momentum and drying out of these fronts as they come east. There's a lot to that. Or west, I should say. So, we'll drop those rain chances, and we'll continue to watch. But overall, the 7-day forecast looking mint, and we'll continue our October and getting towards Halloween, looking on the dry side.
And are you going to be at 4 o'clock? You and Ross will probably go in a lot more detail about this.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Join us at 4:30. We'll be streaming right here on First Coast News Plus.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.